everyone, AmberFrmThVault here. Welcome back to Cozy Grove. Yeah, we haven't played this in a while, but I wanted to go ahead and bring it back in for one very special reason. I have finally had the opportunity to play Cozy Grove both on PC, but also on my Switch, which I have to be honest, maybe the Switch is the better version for this game. It just depends on how you want to play it, but I really find that because the game includes a lot of random grinding, I spend a lot of time playing it more on the Switch than I do on the PC, just because I find the Switch is a little bit more convenient and then I can grind at random times during the day or in random spaces. That said, the game runs better, at least on my PC, than it does on my Switch, because on my Switch it lags quite a bit. It doesn't seem to lag as much here, but you can see those little random pauses. Same thing on the Switch, except it happens twice as much for some reason. Not sure why. But I did want to go ahead and just say that the games are pretty similar, but there are some distinct differences between playing it here and playing it over on the Switch. I would say that the farming and the issues with trying to tap on things that I've had in the past that I have on PC, I do not have on Switch because it is a touchscreen eligible game. And because you can play it on touchscreen, I don't necessarily have to worry. For some reason with the mouse, it feels like sometimes I can't harvest things that I mean to harvest, but I can seem to do it when I'm on the Switch. Not entirely sure if that's just the way the game is made or if that's something in the way that I play it, but it definitely is something that I wanted to point out. Both games are updated at the same frequency, so both of them are going to be able to give you the same amount of new options, new content, things like that, and Cozy Grove is constantly being updated. In fact, recently they released a DLC called Neighbors, and so far that actually seems to be really cute too. It adds some new bears, it also adds some new bugs and different things like that. So it's up to you. You definitely don't have to use it though. The DLC is, I believe it's pretty cheap in the Steam store. I haven't actually looked at it on Nintendo, but at least on Steam it's pretty inexpensive. But that said, I'm just trying to make it through the game right now. So if you've actually made it through the game and you've managed to get through everything, then maybe that might be another option for you. That said, each season, everything changes, which is kind of nice because you're constantly getting new updated content. And I was a little nervous that restarting over on the Switch was going to be really boring because let's be honest, I can't take my PC game to Switch and I can't take my Switch game to PC. And I would kind of like to be able to play them on both. I mean, that would be awesome if you could actually play them on both. I can't though. This isn't Steam Deck. If I had, Steam Deck, then yes, I could play it on that, but Switch is totally different. So one of the options you can do is to restart. At first I thought that this would be terrible. I couldn't even imagine restarting. I mean, look how much I've done here. But I'm going to be honest, I've really been enjoying restarting because it's giving me the option to do things in ways that I wouldn't have done before and that maybe now would be a little bit frustrating to do, like repositioning every single one of these plants. I may not want to reposition every single one of these plants in this version, but on the Switch version, I can start new and kind of place things in new areas. That has been super helpful. I also found that I really enjoy just having a different perspective. I can change my island, the way it looks. And also I don't have my pigtail wig, so I had to be a little bit more creative with what I was going to go ahead and dress like. It's been really fun though to do that and to have that different option. So it's up to you. You can go ahead and play it on either one, but I have to say, I think I personally prefer it on Switch. Now, before I leave and actually show you guys the Switch version, I do want to point out that it is pretty easy to play this with your keyboard, which I think is pretty handy if you're someone who enjoys playing with your keyboard, or your mouse. So you really have two options here, which is kind of nice. When you switch over to Switch, obviously your only options are the Switch controller or the actual Switch in handheld mode. But I don't think that that's that big of a deal. I personally find the handheld mode of the Switch to be the best way to play Cozy Grove, if I'm honest. And if we switch over here to the actual version over on Switch, you can see it looks a little bit different. So obviously here we're using our controller. Things are a little bit more, I would say a little bit more laggy, like I said, but I actually think that it's a lot more fun in terms of the game. I'm not as far in this one, but that's okay. It also gives you the option to move your clock ahead. Now remember, if you decide to time travel in Cozy Grove, it's not like Animal Crossing New Horizons where you can time travel back and it's no big deal. You have to stay in the time that you time traveled to. So keep track of the date that Cozy Grove thinks it is, because otherwise you will corrupt your game. Now, if you go ahead and kind of do some different stuff here, there is a few different buttons. Things are a little bit weird here. I can say that it took me a while to get used to it since I was so used to playing on PC, but that's okay. I found that it was actually really fun and really easy to get into once I kind of started. One of the biggest issues I have though with Cozy Grove on the Switch is that I find it just a little bit harder to do some of the stuff like the throwing, just because I can't quite see things the same way. The screen feels a little bit smaller. Of course, you know, if we're dealing with the Switch though, instead of dealing with a PC, so of course we have some different settings, which can be a little bit frustrating, but it's all right. It actually doesn't turn out too bad. As you move through here, you can see it's not hard to move. It really is a fun game to play still here. And like I said, starting over has really given me the opportunity to kind of change what I want to do. Did I end up actually changing it? Not so much, but it has given me the opportunity to change some things around that I didn't think in the past I would have really wanted to change, specifically because I was so far in the game already. So real quick, just wanted to give an update on Cozy Grove, how much fun it has been. There are no like workshops or anything like that, so you're not missing anything if you play it on Switch instead of playing it here on the Switch, or instead of playing it on PC. Sorry, I can talk. But I do think that it's a little bit more fun as a handheld game, and it's really easy to just sink a few hours into. I like to play it right before bed because the music in here is so soothing and it really helps me get to sleep. So that's it on the Cozy Grove update. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying the game as much as I am. I do love playing this so much. It's definitely one of those games that I can't even believe that I slept on it for so long. I'm not going to say it's better than Animal Crossing New Horizons, but I will say that it's very comparable. Definitely something I love playing. You can see how much I love playing it. My entire inventory is full. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, but I'll see you guys